Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream of chaos. My name is James, and I will be your keeper of arcane lore for today as we play through a scenario in Nameless Horrors. This is part of the run that we've been doing where we're slowly moving through each of the Nameless Horror scenarios and getting everybody on the stream to jump in and to run. And I am running currently a Message of Art, which is one of the scenarios within. This is our second session of that scenario. Speaking of messages of art, we are down an art today, but that is all right because it's actually a very perfect moment for their investigator in the scenario to step away and do something. We will be jumping forward in just a moment. I'll get everyone to introduce themselves, but first a quick thank you to Roll20 and to Sirenscape, tools which we use to improve our games. Let's start off by getting Jackson, I think. With art gone, you're going to be at the front of the list, so why don't you introduce yourself?
True. I'm ready to go. I'm making sure my mic's on. Hi, I'm Jackson. Coming to you again from my childhood bedroom. I haven't thrown out all my RPG books and decided to embark on my quest to catch them all. It's a temporary thing. And I'm playing Clovis Hebert, who is a painter extraordinaire in his mind. Unfortunately, he's quite sure that realism is the thing that everybody should be enjoying, and nobody agrees. And that's okay. They wouldn't understand it anyway. And so far, he's just been really keen to just get some work, get some commissions, get a patron, and he's been willing to throw other painter friends under the bus to get it. Yeah, including like throw them into a bathroom until their head explodes, which is the cliffhanger of last episode, but it should all work out.
Yeah, you weren't necessarily expecting... is there a word for decapitation except when it pops? I'm not really sure. I'm just thinking of Scanners, the movie. I'm not really sure if there's a technical Latin word for it. Anyway, we'll move right along. Alex, could you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm playing Donatian Benoit. I think we decided it was Danny Benoit. Donation Benoit. Danny Benoit. Donation Benoit, the very popular, well-liked, successful art critic who wouldn't know a damn thing about not being in trend anymore. In fact, he is the trendsetter and is currently setting off down the street after a carriage that has booked it into the distance.
Yes, absolutely. So you're going to be tearing away from the others, which could either put them in danger or you in danger, or ideally both, which is just going to be
I'd like to put the whole city in danger, quite frankly.
yeah, it shouldn't be too difficult. So let's jump across to Dave.
Yeah, g'day, I'm Dave, and I am playing Jane Harnsworth Wright. I am a art dealer, so I'm here to, find some new up-and-coming artists, buy their stuff on the cheap, and then flip the hell out of it and make a lot of money.
And at the end of the day, isn't that what creating art is all about?
Yeah. Making a dollary do.
Okay, well, I'll give a brief summary of what's happened so far, and then we'll jump right in. As a quick reminder, we are playing in the 1890s in Paris, France, and our investigators are all members of an art collective called the Salon of the Rose and Croix, the Rose and Cross. It's recently put on a salon or exhibition, and everybody has gathered together to kind of celebrate that. And they've gathered together at the house of the owner, a man named Joseph Pelladin. Now, Joseph's been absent for most of the day. He's been resolving the various things that have been happening at the gallery itself. But in the background, our investigators have gotten together. They met with a man named Antonin Pinault, who wasn't doing too well. He was a little disheveled. He was saying that he was passionate about a new project, but he didn't seem quite right, and he kept complaining of headaches. And our investigators followed him around for a bit, went to a party with him, at which point he started to paint some truly awful stuff, and then went to hide in the bathroom. Later on in the party, he would have be found with his head completely exploded. The only other thing to mention is that there was a visit from a rather strange couple, a man named Pierre Larouche, and who was originally going to be working on stuff for the salon, and his wonderful new wife, Bathsheba. And the two of them went around for a bit. Larouche went upstairs to return an occult book to the library of Pelladin. And then at the moment of the head exploding event, we have Jane went upstairs and discovered that another member of the art collective seems to have broken into that library and stolen something. And where we pick up is halfway out a window. So, refreshing our minds, the scene is as follows. Downstairs, Jackson, we have you, Clovis, staring at this painted room filled with blood. You've just fumbled a roll and you can feel this headache blossoming in the back of your head. I will also get you to make a spot hidden check for me at this point.
Don't remind me. Oh,
if that's all right.
I'm excited to do so.
Oh yeah, the fumbled power roll. Ah, that's nice to see.
It's great, isn't it great to see? Okay, a failed spot hidden check. So you're completely overwhelmed at this point. You don't see anything in the room out of the ordinary, apart from what is immediately and obviously in front of you. I'm also, because I didn't actually
just ask for a friend. I'm going to take one.
Yeah, I'll need
it.
Well, you should also make a sanity roll because I actually didn't get you to make one last time.
Cooking.
Oh, I don't know about that. Just saw a head explode. You see that every day as a.
With a hard success, you can just take a single point.
That was his luck roll.
Oh, that was your luck roll? Oh, never mind. That's not great.
Either way, it was not the.
It was Benoit's luck roll. Here's my sanity roll.
Ben what?
Benny B.
All right.
It's fine.
Success. Still just take a point. You're shocked and you take a hit, but it's not a massive loss at this stage.
You say
Meanwhile,
that, but I'm almost halfway to indefinite.
No, yeah. Well, the headache's blooming. I'm sure you'll get closer soon. Upstairs, Jane, you were at the top of the landing and you decided you wanted to yell for help, basically. You've identified the person and you are now...
Who is the person?
It is Maximilien Levange. This is the horror writer. He was the kind of a little brooding guy.
And was he at the event? He was at the first thing at the Absinthe House. Was he then seen at the party before?
Yes, he was. Notably, he seemed to be consistently checking his watch. That was the only element of note.
I think I might not have never noticed that. I think Jackson got that tidbit a couple of times.
You are right. I'm kind of giving you that one for free because I will assume that it gets passed along.
It can get passed along at some point. Okay.
Yeah, and it's always one of those ones where it's been a week since we played. I want to make sure that I hit you with all the clues. You have everything that you can take.
Yeah.
May not be relevant. Probably relevant.
Yeah. I will go racing after him and into them. He went out a window, right?
Yes, so there's the occult library thing at the end of the hallway, and then there's a couple of doors lining the hall. He was bursting through one and heading to an open window which heads out to the grounds. He stopped just long enough to catch eyes with you and for you to identify who he was, and then he went bolting away.
And where is he bolting?
He is bolting for the window. He appears... He's going to try and climb or jump out.
My intent would be I go chasing after him. I don't actually want to catch him, but I go racing after him with enough space that he can get away. And in character as well, Jane doesn't want to catch him. She doesn't want to get stabbed. But I want to, and then as he vaults out, I want to scream, thief, thief. And because we heard the police arriving, point after him and track him as he flees the grounds. And you know, he's going that way, he's getting away. I can see he's got a parcel or something, or a book or something that he's nabbed, right?
Yes, he's got a large shape that he's kind of sheltering with his coat.
Yeah, I do that, and then I'll probably go and have a look in the room that he came from, but after a beat of yelling for the police.
That makes complete sense. So what I'll get you to do is to make... I'll tell you what, I think if you want to be able to do both of those things at once, it's a little bit complicated because you are trying to balance holding back and also drawing attention and also kind of judging the situation. I think that would be a fast talk. Otherwise, what I'll get you to do is prioritize one or the other. So you
what's
can
the
make
fast
either...
talk for? Sorry.
Here's my justification for it. The two roles I would ask you to make would be a spot hidden or would be a persuade, and that is getting the police to pay attention or to track this guy. For the balance of the whole thing, to be able to position yourself correctly behind him without him thinking he's trying to get to you, to be able to draw the attention of the police, to position yourself right, and also stop for long enough to get your bearings in the situation, you're kind of taking control of this moment. It's a little bit like stealth.
I don't think I'm doing it super strategically. I think I'm just, in that case, I race after and I yell police. Okay, I don't necessarily want to accomplish it. This is just what the character does in the beat. I think approach is getting attention. I'm not really trying to. I don't think I'm really going for an achievement.
Okay, for sure. Make a persuade check all the same. I want to.
I can do fast talk too.
It's almost
gonna. Think that's closer.
No, persuade is fine. Persuade is fine. Let's go with that.
All over it. Good job. Fail.
Okay, totally fine. And as you're running and yelling downstairs, Alex, circling back to you, you'd just spoken with Vivian, who we now know is rushing forward towards the police and is going to go into full damage control mode here. So that is going to be their objective. What are you going to be doing? Oh, we've lost you. Mute wires. May have been your cat treading across the keyboard.
It absolutely was. I am booking it after the carriage that approached the house, saw the cops, turned around. Seemed sus going after him.
Okay, fantastic. I think from you, let's just get a dexterity check as you begin to kind of just sprint in the right direction. Pretty simple, but we'll start with that. Okay. Are you a graceful runner?
No. I'm short. I am round. I walk with like a. I mean, the cane's an affectation. It's a gentleman's cane, but I still have it, and it's like every other step is like a tink tink on the cobblestones. Not graceful at all. It's like it's more like a juggernaut roll. It's like just like a rolling gait that is mostly momentum.
Okay, so perfect. Good to know you're chasing after the carriage itself. Pedernan's carriage seems to be heading off. It saw the police and just did a turn. And you were
glad it's nighttime and no one can see me doing this. But you know what? I'm a journalist. This is in pursuit of a story.
Yeah.
Whatever.
This is your job.
Out on the
exactly.
Trail.
So we're going to go through it one by one then. Upstairs, you rush, you start yelling at the top of your lungs. There is chaos downstairs and nobody is really hearing you and taking immediate action. A couple of people outside might spot somebody is yelling and pointing and shouting police and be able to make a connection about what you were trying to do later. As for Lavange himself, he gets to the window and he stops just before the edge, and then he begins to sidle out as quickly as he possibly can. He is going to try and climb down, and we're just going to see exactly how he does. One moment. Oh, you know what? I don't have his climb skill immediately available, so we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He did have all kinds of time to prepare, which case he goes scurrying down, probably lands and kind of skids across the ground for a second and goes darting towards the back of the house. He appears to be trying to escape into the streets of Paris. He's probably going to climb over the fence. Okay. You rush over and you get there. You can spot where he's heading, but you don't know where he's going to be going once he climbs over.
I yell, police, police, try and get some attention. And then once I see him begin to depart, I'll pull myself over and catch my breath, realize he came from the library, and head over towards that. I think I'm still just curious about the whole event, and I didn't see the exploding head or anything too extreme. So I think at this point I'm just seeing what was happening, and also seeing if maybe there was someone else with him, or maybe it's apparent what he's taken. I don't think I'm trying to steal anything. I'm just heading in to see what's the go.
So the room itself, the occult library room, the door has been busted. There is a lock, and reminding you from the previous episode when you were upstairs, Jackson, you saw that to open it there was a special key that LaRouche had around his neck. So that the door is just being kicked straight in.
It's a big door, right? Does this appear supernatural? Am I wow, how the hell did he get through this? Or does it just he's kicked the hell out of it?
It's not supernatural strength. It's what it is. It's just ungainly. It's one of those things where if you really, really start just kicking holes in plaster, you can sort of get through.
So it wasn't
something.
He was a master thief that came in here with all the tools and everything necessary. He was just I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna kick the hell out of this door. I said, him looking at the clock doesn't make it seem like it was spur of the moment. It does seem that it was planned.
Why don't you make a spot hidden check here? If you have locksmith, I'll give you some different information if you'd like to make that instead. But spot hidden is going to get you.
Yeah, spot hidden's my best case. Yeah. The other one I would maybe do is like psychology for like what was this dude's like head, like what was like is this the actions of a rational man?
I completely
my psychology skill is lower. I'm just making the case for it.
I hear that. I think we'll go. Yeah, spot hidden. We'll go with. So,
Nice.
So you step in. You take a glance around. You're not sure how rational this was. It was definitely loud. Now, in some way, it seems to have synced up with the police. Whether that doesn't seem like a coincidence, but
yeah,
you're not sure why somebody would call the police on this themselves for this kind of situation.
Yeah.
Inside, there is not a ton of damage. You think that this was probably pretty targeted. You actually don't know what's missing off the top of your head.
Could you re-describe the room for me too, just as I come inside it? Like, is it like occult stuff plastered on the walls? Is there a inverted goat skull or anything?
Sure, it is above all else a library. It's a relatively small room. It has been decorated in a somber and a little kind of gaudy esoteric way. So there's a lot of dark paneled wood. There are tomes in bookshelves and some more interesting ones that are contained behind glass. There's a low coffee table in the center, basically, with a carpet underneath, and there's some plush reading chairs towards one side. You can see a second door at the very back that seems to be leading deeper. It is also, at this point, as far as you can see, it's got a big lock and it hasn't been busted open. This does not appear to be a crazy ritual room as much as like a sinister collection. If you went to a haunted house and went into the library, as in like a tourist haunted house and went into the library, it sort of tracks with that.
Okay. I think curiosity will get the better of me. I'm going to go and thumb through some of the books. I have a reasonable library use score. Can we park me here for a little while, looking through some of the books and just having a bit of a nose?
Absolutely. Library use is fine. I'll also let you know I will take, when with different information, occult or appraise.
I have quite a high appraise, but I don't think that's what I'm thinking of. I think library use. I'm just trying to get a sense for what the information is. Also, this whole like occult spread, because I remember I did learn that there was some quite occulty nonsense going on. So I'm kind of seeing like what's he into, what's his flavor.
Yep.
My French skill is reasonable, but not amazing. Just as a context, I'm probably not really strong. Like any like super arcane stuff that's in French, I'm probably not going to.
Fortunately, you're mostly going by titles, and a lot of them are going to be in like Latin and Greek. So,
okay.
Yes.
Well, in that case, I have none of that, so even better.
Exactly. So hit the library use, and we actually don't make the roll yet. Sorry if you've already pressed it. We're going to go across to Clovis downstairs. There's a bathroom. It's full of blood.
Yeah. So good. It's a good situation. Was I the first one to discover this?
You were the first one to discover this, and as you're standing there pretty quickly, you can see Coffier, the butler, who is heading towards the police at the door. Unless you do something, he is going to pass by. He will also see this. The body is blatantly obvious at this stage.
Yeah. Was there like any noise? Did I hear like a pop or a bang in here? Before I came in, because I'm concerned that being the first one here, it's going to be a problem for me.
You are right to be concerned. First of all, you heard the sound of like a slump just before you went in. I also need to briefly retcon one thing. I just said Coffier is approaching. Coffier let you in. He actually unlocked the door. So he steps back and he has seen it as well. You can try and block him from doing something, but
no. My problem, I was concerned if I was the only one on the scene, and then the second person arrived, they would see me with a dead body. But if that's not the case, if I discover there's something else, I am less concerned. Good.
You're still in the realm of going to be actively questioned, but you're not in the realm of like this crime suspect.
Was the first one to find the body? That's fine. Goodness. I guess you've already got me to make a spot hidden roll.
You could push the spot hidden roll if you would like. That would mean that you would just like, that is what you do with the time. At the minute, there is nobody around. You have a couple of seconds. Again, the body itself has sort of fallen to its knees, hands laid out in front of it as if it's sort of slumped. And there is just that stump of a neck that is left, which is still pretty actively bleeding. This is recent enough that the final bits of pressure and spasms of the circulatory system.
Oh my goodness, mere moments. All right, well, I'll turn to the butler and say, oh, please, by all means, get the police, if they're here.
Couffier turns and runs straight towards Vivian, who is trying to play defense. You have a couple of seconds alone with the body if you want to do anything. Otherwise, it is going to fall into the custody of the police.
Well, yeah, look, I mean, Clovis is not a investigator by any means. He's not a detective, but he is a realist. And I think he's a bit macabre. I think he might be, tempted to take in some of the scene, that he might use it in some of his work someday.
I think that's fantastic.
Because you don't, like, as a realist, you want to capture the truth of the world as it really is. And so it's very difficult to do that if you haven't seen something. And how often do you see someone with a freshly exploded head? How often do you get to see a corpse dripping with blood, this fresh?
Hopefully not very often. That is a great idea. I'm going to get you to
he's just going to try to switch off the fact that his frenemy is missing his head and just like take in the objective truth of the scene by, having a wand over, seeing what the inside of someone's neck looks like, and also maybe spotting the gun or, otherwise incendiary device which caused this to happen.
Yes, of course. You need to be a realist about this, after all.
That's right.
I'll get you to make an arts and craft check. Actually, make your painting skill check.
All right, to see how well I can like burn it into my memory.
Yeah, and as you make it, suddenly that slight pulse in the back of your head, that headache, expands quite a bit, and you feel little tendrils of like bands of pain wrapping around the front, and you can take a bonus die on the arts and craft check.
Really good.
And it also like tanks my internet connection for a second. The pulse in my back of my head expands quite a bit, and I feel
the headache is getting worse, and you can take a bonus die on the arts and craft check.
Oh, that is suspiciously helpful.
That's the word.
Okay, could you have the bonus die? No, all right. Ultimately,
bloody
irrelevant. Some fantastic rolls here. So you step forward and you start to try and look over the scene as best you can, and you're kind of looking for details like a gun, like some kind of incendiary device, but there is none. And you're just a little taken aback, and you start to go, all right, I just need to break this down into some kind of image. You think absurdly you're going to take a sketch of it, but before you can do anything at that point, the police, the sûreté at this point, rather than gendarmes, arrive, and they take a step back. They are shocked. One of them turns green, but then an older, kind of more grizzled gentleman steps forward. Monsieur, please stand back. You need to get away from the body immediately. And he's ordering people around the house. Clovis is muttering to himself. Do you try to say anything or do anything? Want to get an early word in?
Well, I was the first one to find the body. I would be happy to answer any questions. I will stay nearby. Is there a window in here? Could he have been shot through the window by a sniper?
There may be. I guess I'm just thinking of the layout of the house.
You've already played your hand. No, it wasn't a sniper.
It wasn't a sniper. No. If there is a window, it is a small, like, window that looks outside, but would not be large enough for somebody to see in for privacy reasons. This is not a. There'd be a small air vent to one side just for like air circulation, but nothing beyond that.
Okay. Well, now Clovis is like entranced. Now, like.
think we're losing Jackson a little bit, but we'll take the assumption.
He wants to be a realism. He wants to be a realist. He's a realist. He wants to portray the truth, but he can't portray the truth if he doesn't understand it first.
Yep.
I don't know how much of that you got. Internet chugging along. I'm having a good time.
We got it. So you
now invested in this mystery. That's all I want to say.
That makes total sense. At any rate, the police are definitely going to want you to hang around. So they pull you back for a second, and you're able to watch as people bustle around. Some of them heading upstairs, starting to respond to Jane before long. But before we do that, we are going to jump across to Donatine, sprinting through the Parisian streets like a rotund little athlete.
So hold in the breathing.
Natural sprinters.
Exactly.
You want to know what's lower than my dexterity? My constitution.
Oh god. Not great. Fortunately, you don't actually have too far that you need to race along. The carriage takes a couple of turns until it is outside of the immediate view of the house, and then it just kind of stops. Do you want to run right up and start talking immediately, or do you park yourself and sneak a little bit? What's your plan?
I'm gonna park myself and sneak a little bit. I'm gonna get as close as I can, just to kind of. Yeah, I think I just want to kind of observe the situation first. Nothing's gained by rushing in.
Okay.
I'm patient.
Do you want to make a stealth check or a listen check for me? I'll be happy with either of those.
I'm gonna go with listen. I'm not a stealthy man.
All right, fair enough. So you basically get around a corner. You're not that close. There's still people passing by at this time of night, and do your best to crane your ears and listen. And yeah, you're able to catch a few snippets of words. It's nothing distinct. You're not getting full sentences, but you're getting a general tone, and that is one of confusion. You hear Paladin's Paladin's voice kind of demanding questions of his driver, who is muttering quick responses. They don't seem to know why the police are there, and their instinct was to just get out of the way for the time being, and then to plan what their next move is. So they're going to be here for at least a little while.
I'm going to try and get closer. It's a enclosed carriage, right?
Yeah, it's an enclosed carriage, but they've probably swung open one of the doors, and Paladin is leaning out and yelling at the driver.
To talk to the driver. Yeah. I'm going to try and come around the other way to it and just see how close I can get to the carriage. I want to know a little bit more. They're a little way from their house. They haven't arrived anywhere else yet, though, have they? Are they going back in the direction of the gallery, or
they've literally pulled over? Like the carriage has
they're just
stopped
on the side
at this point. They're planning.
Yeah. Does it look like they're heading in the general direction of Paladin's house or the gallery?
They turned away from Paladin's house and they just got out of there. So you really think this was a case of drive?
They haven't planned,
They've just gotten around the corner and they're going, where do we go?
That's not that's pretty extreme for just happening upon the police. That's suspicious.
That's your house, nonetheless. Not rather than curiosity being the instinct to piss bolt is pretty suspicious.
Not being like, what the hell's happened in my house?
Why are there cops at my home?
You're entirely right about that. It is a suspicious action, but then again, running from the police doesn't necessarily make you guilty. There was also a lot of police. Like a sûreté raid like that is a little bit out of the ordinary.
It's a little bit worrying. It's more the whatever they found is bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. I'm gonna get out my notebook, take some notes of what I've seen so far. Just keep it fresh for the story.
You said you wanted to get closer.
And then I'm gonna try and get closer.
You could literally putting yourself close enough to be able to get proper information beyond just the vibe. I'll take a regular stealth or a hard listen at this point, and it will be a pushed roll. The penalty is going to be that you're going to be spotted. So.
I'm going to try and stealth it. I wanted to kind of stand it back in the alleyway for a second to take a breath, kind of compose myself and make it look like that if I am seen, it'll just be I'm just strolling through the streets. What do you know? You're here. Surprise. Kind of not looking like I've just run a mile sweating through my suit.
Okay, perfect. So make a...
No,
so.
not a stealthy man.
You do your best to step forward quietly.
I'm seen immediately.
Yeah, unfortunately, Paladin has his eyes on stalks at this point, and he whips around immediately, spotting you. He's
Peladon, fancy seeing you here.
Jonathan, I looks left and right. Tall guy, dark hair, frazzled at this point though, and clothes are a little. Looks like he's just changed. He looks back and forth and says, "You came from the house?"
No, I mean yes, but a little while ago.
You didn't see? Do you want to make a fast talk for me?
I do. No.
He realizes that you've probably seen.
I'm still sweating. I'm still bright red in the face.
Yep. But he doesn't necessarily take this as like hostility from you. Just that as soon as the police arrive, you may have your own reasons for suddenly not being involved.
I'm lying. He's lying. Yeah. Maybe it'll endear me to him.
Yeah. He nods a few times and then he says, "I don't know what's going on. I'm leaving. You should too. You should get home. I think we'll have to call off this evening's festivities."
Yes, that was a little bit odd. Where are you headed to? Might I, borrow a lift with you? I don't know if you can tell, but the fleeing is perhaps not the best for my constitution.
He looks towards his driver, who says something with their eyes that you don't necessarily pick up on. Can you make a persuade check?
I'm being far too friendly. I really need to start being a dick so I can use my intimidate.
Yeah.
I think what I'll probably do is when he exchanges a look with the driver, I'll take a step forward and be like, "You wouldn't leave me out here in the street now, would you?"
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a very good look, is it?
And suddenly he's thinking, in this situation where he's potentially vulnerable to the police, what a damning article in one of Paris's top newspapers could do.
Yeah, literally just try it.
Brilliant. Make an intimidate check. Oh, fantastic. Now, it's not a fumble because you technically got over, you've got a skill of over 50, but at this point, Peladon doesn't take it well. He doesn't look cross, he just looks panicked. He goes, "Drive, again," and grabs the door and shuts it as the driver starts to hail the car forward. They take off. You could try and chase again, and they're probably just going around the corner once more. Otherwise, if you want to head back, otherwise you could make one last minute like psychology check or try and spot some detail or another.
I might try and just kind of squint after him, cocked that up, didn't I?
In which case, if you're just eyeing the cart,
just a run of red.
I'm staring blankly at the cart as sweat drips into my eyes, and it's like, ugh.
I'm still going to give you a chance to spot something here because God, do we need
honestly.
it?
Honestly.
Make a spot hidden check.
You want to see me fail another check? Hey.
There we go.
All right, perfect. It's very, very laden down. The cart has, and judging now by the way that you were seeing Peladon move, it's stocked up with at least some of the arts pieces from the summer, but you suddenly realize it's probably got all of them in it. And
because my next thing would have been, I cocked that up and just go to the gallery, in which case I would have found the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that saves you a walk. Although if you want to keep this sweat going,
Oh, not particularly. Like a glass of wine and maybe some duck.
Off to bed.
Would you like to retire to safety nearby? You can like stroll back towards the square.
I think I'm going to stroll back towards Peladon's house, but the back way, hoping that the others have gotten out, and keeping my distance. I don't really want to be within police radar, but at the same time, I kind of do. I kind of want to know what the story is. So I'm going to kind of take the scenic route back to the house, back to Peladon's house, see if I can. The others are smart enough not to take the front door if it's full of cops, so I'm going to take the back streets to Peladon's house.
Perfect. Okay. As you wander through the back streets, we cut back into the house. The police start moving people aside, and yelling at some people to sit down. They're getting kind of corralled into the sections that they were. The bathroom is towards the bottom of the stairs, heading up to the second floor. So, out of what is genuine logic, but also for narrative expediency, the two of you end up kind of pinched together at the top of the landing. You're in the occult library for a second, Jane. We'll get you to resolve the library use check, and then the police are going to arrive, and they'll say, you know, please come back, and you can have stepped out preemptively potentially.
I suspect they'll probably find me in there thumbing things. I'm not like hiding that. It's just a library. I'm not worried about being.
For sure. If you are happy to be caught there, I'll give you a bonus die on the check.
Catch away. I mean, yeah. Yep.
Okay, regular success. And that'll bring you to a hard, I believe.
Yes, that will.
Okay, fantastic. So, you do a quick rush through the various books that are there. Clovis had a brief look when he was inside last time and got a general vibe. There are both like kind of pop occult and real occult, and then some stuff that you can recognize as occult, but you haven't even heard of.
Right.
More importantly, though, you're doing kind of a library perspective here. Everything seems pretty intact. What you note is that there is a couple of like there's notepads and things where people would have been taking, you know, kind of like a reading room style, tracking the information that they get, and those have been knocked to the floor off the coffee table. It looks like something was picked up off the coffee table, and that scattered a few things, right? You also notice that at the very, very back of the room, there is one of those glass cases that has been opened up, and something has been taken out. This isn't a broken lock situation, but it hasn't been properly resealed. So you think two things have been taken from here? When you were watching Lavange leave, he really only looked like he was holding one thing.
So something else is missing.
Yes.
Can I get a sense of similar sizes, like book size for both?
Yeah, that's right. They would both be tomes.
Well, in that case, as people come in or as I head out to meet others, if I cast my mind back, might I be able to recall who else I've seen coming or going from this area?
Sure.
Like coming up the stairs. I know it was a big party and people moving around might be difficult.
Do you want to make I think genuinely make a psychology test for this rather than just like a spot hidden, because this is kind of
or intelligence, just sending it back. I could see it being
Yeah, let's do that.
Extreme or hard?
Hard intelligence. Okay. Nah, well done. People tended to respect pretty well the rules of the house. You saw a couple of the staff head up and down. Coffier went up and down. There's also another woman named Madame Guyon, who is another a maid at the house. In terms of guests, you know, LaRouche went up, and he went up with Clovis. They headed up together. And you know that Lavange went up because you caught him up there. Beyond that, you actually think that people respected the privacy of the upper floor pretty actively. That's your list of suspects.
Clovis and LaRouche. Okay, all right. In that case, I'll probably
and then the
Clovis
stuff.
Then when I can. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. At this point, the secretary arrive upstairs. Madame, please, you need to step outside. Put everything down, and they'll lead you out.
Say, you saw the man fleeing. I called for help. He went round the side. He's taken something from this room. He went right out the window.
He starts to give you like we have people handling the situation, and then immediately like whispers to one of his colleagues who like. And the word spreads. Okay. You're not. The window is open, and there's probably like a scuffed mark where this guy clambered out. Before long, you're pulled back, and you're taken down. The bathroom area gets sort of sealed off, basically, while the police gather around it. But news of what's in there is spreading very quickly, and people are whispering around through the party. The two of you are together for a moment, if you would like to share anything. And for convenience's sake, crowds are forming outside, and you will be able to see that Vivian is engaged with the police. It doesn't seem to be being held, but is like, going to be caught here playing legalese for a while. Sure. And you probably spot Donatin do like one pass from the outside, so you know that he got out.
I will probably say to Clovis though, that if you've taken anything from the library, I'd suggest you put it back.
How dare you? I am not a common thief. I only seek to observe, not to take, not to touch, not to meddle. It seems like we have found ourselves in the middle of quite a bit of meddling. There is a man dead.
Someone's dead?
There is item stolen. You did not hear?
Who's dead?
Poor Monsieur, my dear friend, my good friend who I know very well, and is a good friend of mine who is in my notes as Antonin Pinot. Monsieur Pinot. He must have painted himself into a frenzy and died.
You'll be able to see at this
blood
point.
Spray across.
Well, they probably pulled the door shut to hide it a little bit, but you see like a horde of police around the bathroom door talking, and like you'll hear muttered words. Yeah.
Something very strange is happening here. That it was the horror writer that's stolen something, a book from inside the library, but something else is missing as well. You went up there earlier. Who were you with? Did you see them take anything?
I know it's Mr. LaRouche. He was returning a book, not taking anything. I was with him the whole time. He brought back a book he had borrowed.
Where did he return it? Was it on the small table, or did he put it inside a glass case?
James?
It was only seconds ago for your character. Yes, it was. He put it very notably on the coffee table.
And so it was taken?
That's what's been stolen.
Yes, so it is one of the missing things, yes.
That's what's been stolen, but something else as well from inside a glass case. It'd be book size, but it could have been something else.
Well, it is hard to believe that this is all coincidence. 2 items stolen and a man dying at the same moment.
I think it's absolutely not a coincidence. Something strange is happening here. We should find the host.
Monsieur Paladin, has he arrived?
He must be coming soon. Or would I have seen the carriage departing as they came around the corner?
Yeah, I think, yeah, you were upstairs, you got a good view. So let's just say you have, you caught enough to see it turn around.
He's already left. He came by briefly, saw the police had fled.
Well, this is getting more interesting by the minute.
The whole thing seems rather strange. Perhaps we should speak with the police. I'm going to share what I've found, share who I saw, and let them know. It seems perhaps I'll be able to make more sense of it.
And I am most interested in what can make a man die in such a violent yet subtle manner as Mr. Pinot has just experienced.
We did call for a doctor before he died. If the doctor comes soon, they might be able to shed some light on the situation.
I think I will find the doctor if there is one around. And
so,
see what I can glean.
As you make to break off, a couple of things will happen as well. First of all, the police are really taking control of the situation. They're searching people. They're talking. You think the two of you are likely to be interviewed. At which point you hear a junior officer kind of do a aha eureka moment. You turn towards them and they're near the front door where all like the coats are hanging and things like that. And they are standing in front of a woman's coat and pulling out from a quite large interior pocket a heavy tome. You will immediately recognize this as the one that LaRouche returned. They turn about and start demanding whose coat it is. And before long, Aimée Prideaux, the woman who was trying to bolster the reputation of her friend's art to you, Jane, gets dragged forward, and she's protesting. She says she's never seen the book before, and the police take her into custody. At this point,
can I, just as this is happening, can I step forward and because I'm pretty confident I never saw her coming or going from the stairs, or am I like maybe she slipped up at some point?
No, you were pretty confident she did not.
I will just make myself. I'm pretty happy to get swept away by the police as well, but I will step forward saying, no, you've gotten the wrong person. She never came or went. It's been hidden. It's been planted on her.
They turn to listen to you. Vivian probably jumps across as well to start helping. Here's what we're going to do, because we'll break out of this cluster for a second. Basically, here's the situation. Outside, Donatin, you are golden. You don't need to make any rolls. You will be able to get away. The other two of you are going to have to succeed at either a law check or a persuade would also work. I'll also take a fast talk, anything that would try and, pull you out. Otherwise, you're going to get taken to the officers of the Sûreté, and they will probably question you throughout the night. You won't get to go home. You won't want to take any actions. If you want to try and protect Aimee, Jane, you are going to need to get a hard success, or you can kind of throw yourself under the bus, be happy to be taken in order to bolster in her defense, and it'll just be irregular, but yeah.
I would like to do... I do want to tell the police what I found, so I want to go with them. I don't want to stay there overnight. I'd like to give my piece and then return to the event. I've got things I need to, I got stuff going on. But yeah, I will talk to the police. Okay, for sure.
I would like to try to pivot towards a conversation with a doctor who will arrive, because I imagine if there's not a doctor nearby, at least the police would want a doctor to see his body when
the
it's
doctor
fresh.
who you called earlier will be arriving. Yes, and
so I kind of want to hang around just to say I was talking to the man just before he died. I might be able to tell the doctor, but also pivot that into so what actually happened.
I hear that. You also both did take steps to try and kind of insulate yourselves a little bit here. You've got the doctor coming, which you can genuinely use. So whatever you decide to make in terms of trying to de-incriminate yourself, you can take a bonus die. Jane, you
am I concerned of being incriminated?
No, and you stayed in the room as well. So you were kind of spotted up in which case I won't give you a bonus die is the point.
Okay.
Yep. But at this point, it's just interrogation. You're not necessarily worried about being a suspect.
It's just I'm more just worried about losing my evening.
Yes.
If you do get taken out, and I see you being taken out by the police, and basically bundled away by the police, I will very obviously start taking down name and badge numbers and being this is now a police expose. I wonder how your captain would... I would try and then intimidate the police into letting her go. So I'm happy to step in there.
We'll have you there as a backup. Excellent. I'll get... once again, persuade, fast talk, law, any of those are fine. Clovis, if you want to take I'll take a medical check at this point. But I think you still, this is still a situation where the cops are here. They're trying to get everyone into to sit down and shut up. And it's whether you have the social wherewithal to try and get some.
Yeah, I'll be happy to go with persuade or fast talk because they are the same number.
At your discretion. Law. Okay, fantastic. Let's get it. And remember, Clovis, you have a bonus die for the doctor.
Fantastic.
That is
But also fast talk because I'm trying to turn it to my advantage.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Hard success.
That's good. That's good. So with a hard success, we'll start with Jane. You step forward and you start to speak to the police and tell them it wasn't Aimee, she wasn't there. With a hard success, you can not only put a pretty serious seed of doubt in their minds, but you can also stop yourself from being taken.
I also tell them who I saw. I tell them that I saw the horror writer take something. He broke through the window. He broke through the door. He stole something, and he fled going in this direction. Additionally, actually, the other item taken we've found now. That was found in her... So I'm going to say also someone planted that on her, someone else at this event. I probably level my suspicions probably at the person that was with Clovis. I've forgotten the name, sorry. LaRouche, yeah, because he's the only other person I saw coming or going. And I think, I don't think I'm just... Probably do also mention I saw Clovis going.
Happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not in a level, I think just it's the only people that I saw come or go.
LaRouche is more suspicious because he came in, dropped something off the library, and then left, and then
almost immediately
made a nod to his wife. They were like, "Oh, yep, you dropped it off. Let's go," and then they just politely sprinted out, pretty much.
And just as then the police arrived. Also, we still don't know. Wait, can I ask? Could I try and find out what called the police? I say, why? Who summoned you? What was it that drew you here and in such force?
They will admit that they were alerted by a member of staff at the house that something untoward was happening. Before long, you come out that it appears that Guyon, the maid, preemptively alerted, and like, because it took them a while to get here, for about 15 minutes before the event, they got an alert saying that they had to be here and that there was an active burglary kind of thing and people were in danger.
Well, then
this was almost like a swatting kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
like, she should be questioned. Yeah, nothing had happened at that point. You need to speak with her. Also, the staff would have keys to come and go.
To be clear, they are listening to you. You have succeeded. I keep focusing on the little things of what's happening to your characters, but they're
doing an investigation. Got it.
People start heading out. They're trying to find Lavange. They're asking about where his address is. Guyon is inside. She will be taken into custody, and she's going to be asked a bunch of stuff. You can hear her protesting. The doctor arrives. They're speaking with him, and they do take Aimee, but it's under the we need to question you properly. It's not under the you are arrest and prime suspect thing. Yeah. There is very much this woman may have been framed, so we need to
Okay. All over it.
Cool. Meanwhile, over to your side, you get a couple of moments to speak to the doctor. Oh, one last thing, Jane. It is possible that people went up and down multiple times, I guess. Like, you noticed out of the corner of your eye. I didn't sort of give you an exact, like, I didn't confirm for you that. So potentially LaRouche could have come back, or Clovis could have gone up again, or any of the staff, or Lavange could have been making multiple trips, kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Speaking to the doctor, as you would almost immediately expect, he becomes almost immediately mystified, cannot explain this, cannot find a weapon, and pretty quickly starts to escalate the situation, needs to take the body to a coroner, needs to do all kinds of XYZ. Do you have any specific questions you want to ask?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd lead in with, like, I'm talking to him like in a play to like give him information. So I'll be saying, Antonini was quite troubled earlier in the evening. He was frenzied. He was agitated. He was keen to spend the evening with his brushes, like he had some kind of, I don't know, fever of the mind. Is that a thing? Can you be feverish in activity before it takes over the entire brain and explodes?
The doctor keeps mopping at his head with a handkerchief for the affectation, but then says, there are, if he was unwell, it may have affected his behavior, but this is, I mean, the condition of the body you saw, there is no medical explanation for this. It would have to have been something that there is some other factor we are not seeing. Perhaps he ingested something. Perhaps he ingested some sort of munition. I don't know. There is no fever. There is no illness that could do this that I know of. The madness, maybe. The erratic behavior you described, maybe, but not. Heads didn't. Are you feeling all right? Contagion is something we should be concerned about.
The exact same thought, same as Clovis's head mere moments ago. And he will say, no. I am feeling fine.
Okay. I'm glad to hear you're feeling all right. He nods, and he doesn't question you at this point. He's so focused on the bizarre thing that happened. He pulls out. So the two of you have made it out clear for the evening. Once again, feel free to investigate within the scene as much as you want. The police are competent, and they are following up on the things you've described. You also have some like free time here, Jonathan, because you're not actively trying to sort of de-incriminate yourself. I throw the floor to the collection of you. Otherwise, you may want to retire and make some plans.
Yeah, I think I'll wait till the others come out and intercept and inform them what I saw of our gallery, of our salon friend, that he's gone and he's got all the art.
Why? Yeah. No, sorry, go
He's
on.
gone.
Also, in which case, we'll jump to the collection of you are gathered outside. The police are
Yeah.
scattering. The evening is ending, and you can have a free word.
Why on earth
say
did
is
he
it's-
flee? What did he know? And if this all seems rather strange. I feel quite uncomfortably as if we've been had. I feel like we are pawns in something going on.
With
it's
the
simply too
stealing,
many
with
moving
the
parts.
yes.
The two thefts, the framing of Madame last
Emmy?
name.
Priou.
Priou.
Mademoiselle.
Would be a mademoiselle, yeah.
If she's if she's a writer, she's probably not married in this time. Oh no, get married. You got to put down the books. There was the deaths.
You keep
Monsieur
using the word
Delabouche.
death when really it was quite a violent kind of. You said exploded?
I'm
I'm not sure death really
the
covers it.
staff calling the police before anything happened.
And
But I think it was the end result.
and the
Staff calling the police before
paranoia.
anything happened, and Monsieur Paladin turning and fleeing.
He looked bad.
The flight, strangely enough, is almost the most suspicious thing. That he would see police that have been summoned by
his
his
own
own
home.
staff and flee. Clearly, he must have ISIS. Oh, one other thing. I saw a locked room inside the library. It goes further. I suspect that may be what he was worried about, the police finding something. That also may have been what the person who broke in was looking for.
Huh. I wonder if Paladin has any other properties.
I'd also like to have another look inside that room, I think. I'm sure the police will find it
Right.
eventually, but at the moment, I find myself
I wouldn't
out
give
an
them that much
artist,
credit.
and with no contract for any of his work. Perhaps there's some way to
Yes,
salvage the evening
true.
still.
Oh well, Madame, we can talk further. I'm sure. We can discuss.
Perhaps another realist is about to come to the fore.
fore.
Nice.
But
well,
I do agree that this may be our only chance to have a look around before the police completely cordon off the area. We want to try to. Looks a lot less suspicious if we are three rather than one.
I may have left something inside that I have to get.
Ah, me too. We wanted the same here.
Whoops. I think we can help you get back in there, and I would actually like to have a look through his desk, see if there's any other properties that he owns anywhere we could go and corner him and get the story out of him.
The locked room will require a key. The staff may have it, but I suspect if it is
Sounds
truly secret, it would only Paladin probably has a way inside that locked room. I wonder if we might find some other form of leverage. A crowbar, bolt cutters.
A boot.
If it is a hidden room, it may have some intricate mechanics to it.
I'm worried that the
I,
boot
for some reason, have 60 mechanical repairs, so maybe I can get us in.
Oh,
If
that might
that's the
work.
reason for your mechanical repair.
That might work. I don't think we want to apply a boot. I heard the breaking in from the lower level, and if we have any chance of avoiding the police here, this will look rather incriminating, it should be pointed out as
Yes.
well. So best not to be seen while we're nosing around.
Right.
All right,
Yes.
well, why don't I post up outside the room? I think we're all talking outside still. Like, let's get a bit of a plan before we go in. I'll post up outside the
Yeah.
room and distract anyone that comes. If necessary, or if you find anything, I'm also pretty handy in a library. Jonathan, you have a poke around, and Clovis, you try and get through the door. And then call me once it's in, and we'll all have a quick look inside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? All right. Go team.
Okay. First of all, I'll say this. If you would like to give it a couple of hours, like 3 hours,
Ooh.
the police presence is going to drop markedly. But that
Oh.
is going to start
Let's
to
go
cost
get
you precious
dinner.
time.
I think that'd be good. I think we can come back after dark, or whenever.
Let's do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's late-ish now, but
Yeah.
you're going to get there back really late. So,
Yeah. Let's go eat food.
all right.
But also, like, not so late that we can't, like, say, oh, we left something behind.
No. I hear. So first you break away, head down a couple of streets. This is a fairly busy part of Paris, and you're able to sort of get some food and to refresh. Now, I wasn't just trying to throw this to you to get you out of the area. There is something that is going to start happening, and we're going to start to pretty quickly find you're under a time pressure. But you're going to have bonus dice coming back.
Jackson's head's going to explode.
Yeah.
Funny you guessed it. As you were sitting down
Great news for
eating,
me.
the headache in the back of your head starts to get worse and worse, and you find that you just cannot get out of your head the image of that body, the blood, the gore, that horrible bathroom. But it's not like a terrible memory you're trying to avoid thinking of. It's beautiful. No, gory, obviously, but it's something that needs to be painted. That scene, you are driven. You start to feel you can feel it. You felt this before very rarely when you've done your best work. You want to stay up all night. You want to just be working. You want to forget to eat. You want to dive entirely into this. And every second that you are not doing that, the headache is progressing. It is getting worse, and it is getting worse, and it is getting worse. I need you to make for me another power check.
Good. This will go really well.
Bye, Jackson.
Wow.
In which case,
It's
I'm going to get you
I've got like 54 points of luck. This is like the most luck I've had in pretty much any session the last few weeks. And yet,
I'm going to get you to lose a d6 of power.
Oh, baby.
now this is a problem, James, because you're going to keep on asking me to make power rolls. And failing power rolls is going to get me to lose power. I'm afraid I'm going to be more likely to fail more power rolls. I can see where this is going.
I'm not really a maths guy. Yeah, I'll trust you on it.
Oh, did you say 6 or D6?
A d6.
Oh, okay. I just took down 6. So let's
Roll
see if
a
I can
6,
avoid
and then you don't need to
doing
change it.
that.
Yeah, make it simple.
As my internet chugs along.
Yeah.
Not just the childhood bedroom, but the childhood internet.
That's right. Deux points.
Okay, not too bad to start with. I mean, you really are just sort of it's not a really long time, but as you sit there, again that image. I'll ask you as a player, what's an interesting thing you do with the painting to like make it more evocative? Are you going to do the whole thing in like reversed colors or something? Is the blood going to be blue?
Ooh.
Or you're a realist? I guess you couldn't.
There's only one answer. I'm going to paint it with real blood.
Oh, yeah, the realist.
Hell yeah. Okay. Couple of hours pass. Are you sharing this fact with your companions or not yet?
I don't think so.
I don't think you should.
I mean, one of Clovis's personality traits is brooding, and it's an excellent opportunity to brood on something.
It is.
So he will use it to brood, to enhance his brooding.
Okay, fantastic. The three of you head back towards Peladin's house. You gather around outside. There is now the crowd has dispersed. There's still a couple of police working around the spot, but you're able to head to the front and say, "Hey, we need to get back inside." There's a little bit of negotiation. I need somebody to make a fast talk here to get you back in. As I said, you can have a bonus die on the negotiation because you've given it a bit of space.
I mean, if nobody's got a good fast talk, I can try intimidating them.
Yeah, I'm a
14,
persuasion gal self.
I'll have a go.
In which case, it'll be hard.
Give it a go.
Point,
Give it a go,
Jane
Clovis.
did say that I was in the library. It's completely possible I left something up in the library because I haven't been up there since the crime happened. I couldn't get in.
I think you should do it.
I like it. It's pre-set up. Okay.
Hey,
Nice
good.
hard success.
Good.
It's like the bonus die anyway for a hard success.
Okay, fantastic. You chat to the officer at the front who is a little cautious, but they're frankly a lot more concerned about the body at this point.
Reasonable.
So somebody says, yeah, okay, go up quickly, and they would escort you up with a hard success on the fast talk. I'm happy that they actually just let you nip up. If you would like to give me 8 points of luck to bring that to an extreme, it's we'll just nip up and grab it and leave. So you can actually all quickly traipse up the stairs as a pack.
Absolutely, I will do that. I got luck to burn, and I'm not going to live for long.
Especially if you keep burning your luck that way.
Well, you don't need any luck once your head explodes. You can't take it with you. If you die with 0 luck, that's a life well lived.
You'd lose your luck if it was Scrooge. Your head if it was Scrooge. There's something there. Anyway,
we'll circle around.
You're led inside. You head up the stairs quickly. You can see that Clovis, the butler, has started working now to repair like everything, and it's like putting away the party before he starts on the actual chaos. You can see no sign of the maid who was taken away. You could divert if you want to speak to him. He just kind of looks across, but you've been let in by the police, so it's fine. You head upstairs across. The room is the door has been sort of pushed to the side and propped open because there was sort of like banging without the capacity to latch since it was broken, and it's very clear that people have been traipsing about inside the upstairs room. Nobody has broken in to the back room, and it does look like this is a pretty solid door. They may be waiting to get in contact with Peladin. You're not exactly sure, but they haven't. It's still sitting there and it's still locked.
So I don't feel like I need to keep. If we just close the door, I don't feel like I need to stand outside. I can investigate too. I think that's my.
You can investigate too. Yeah, at this point, I think you are all let out. Yeah.
Okay. Clovis, do you want to try and see if you can get through that door? Donatien, if we want to hide the room and start to look.
I'm going straight to the desk. I'm going to look for papers and things that are like, yeah, I want to see if he's got other properties. I want to know where he's going. If he's hightailing it away from his house, where is he going?
I will ask for one of my personal favorite skills. Do you have an accounting skill?
Oh. No.
No. Okay. In which case,
I've got quite high praise. Which was going to be
my French own. Just looking to scan through and see.
They're all going to give you different answers, but if you wanted to do I try to trace the money. That the prime of that would be accounting. Now you can do an associated one.
He's French and he's wealthy, so I don't know if I need to trace the money so much as the heritage.
Yeah.
A name is just as important.
I'd be happy for a library use on the desk for that kind of information. I'd be happy with history, genuinely, like as you start to sort of go through some of the papers, see who he's working with. Credit rating, but it will be difficult.
May I buy like a difficult credit rating? May I posit though a French owned to just look through all of the papers, scanning them as quick as possible to see like where is an address?
You know what?
To scan, very quickly scan papers and looking for things that are addresses, things that are building names.
Your French own is pretty good. I'm happy to, you can read fast. So what we'll just say, it will be a luck roll at that point. You just start reading. And it is whether you stumble across something that is obliquely helpful here.
I'll take luck.
Okay, great. What about the others?
You offered me. Oh, well done. You offered me an appraise roll previously, James. I'm gonna try that this time. I did well on library use before. I'm now getting a sense for the value of the room. Also genuinely looking for like if he had contracts with artists, anything that might tie. I'm doing appraise, but in a suspicious way. I think I'm trying to find like what in here might he have been hiding. Also, like if they went for the book, was there something more valuable nearby? That's strange that they took the book then. Is there anything else that the person breaking in might have been looking for and didn't find? Something like that.
Okay. Makes total sense. Yep. I'll take an appraise. That's fine.
Yeah. Oh God! It's over,
extreme
James.
Successes all the way. Yeah, let's just
high five, Jane. Extreme success crew.
I'll put the PDF in the group chat, and you can.
Yeah, just give us a PDF. We're good.
Okay, so first of all, I'll just say, as you go to make the mechanical repair check, and I'm almost sorry to do this to you, Clovis. With your extreme success, Donatien, one of the things you will find is there is a key inside one of the drawers. In fact, there's a few of them, and they're all on similar like chains stashed to one side. It's just in sort of you have to open one of the cupboards and then pull out a drawer. It's very easy to have missed. You can toss that over, but that means you get to make a different check. Yeah, sorry, no mechanical repair.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Okay, well, if you change your mind, you let me know.
What have I got? What else is going on?
You can have it. I'll give you a second to think, and I'll say what the others have found. First of all, pretty quickly. All right. So you found the key. First of all, there's something else that you'll do, just reading through everything on the desk. But we'll jump across to Jane. Appraise-wise.
Yeah.
First of all, you pretty quickly figure out that they're similar to the painting that you saw in the very first session. There is your regular ability to appraise these things goes out the window because they are not valuing them correctly. They don't care about the monetary worth, the historical worth, even sentimentality. They seem to care about an actual occult thing. What you are able to pretty quickly find is that they are genuine believers. They take it a step further, and when you open that door, which you will shortly, you will find it's a ceremony room. There's no slabs for sacrificing or grisly hooks hanging from the ceiling, but there are robes, there are satanic images, there's a lot of pretty transgressive art. It's the kind of thing that gets mentioned when you're at trial, and that is really, really hard to come back from.
I'll leave that door open.
Yeah.
Sorry.
From this, you will find some contracts, and more specifically, you are going to find that as well as the Salon de la Rose en Croix, the organization that you appear to, that you're associated with, there appears to be a second kind of inner circle called the Order of the Rose and Cross, and that is an explicitly occult society. It is very restrictive about its membership, and there are records here about ceremonies that they perform, and nominally the salon is to convert people to the truth and to get them towards joining. You find out that there's lists of names and correspondence that's all stored together. Paladin is the...
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Paladin is the leader. Pinot was a member.
Yeah.
LaRouche is a member. Lavange
also wasn't
not, but has been expressing interest in joining and has been knocked back several times.
Oh, is there a reason for his getting knocked back? Feels like they're not just blanket recruiting.
It seems that they just basically don't like him. They think he's weird. They think he's a hack, and they at the end of the day, they are egotistical artists. So they have knocked him back on a personality basis.
Okay. Is there any... So they're true believers in the occult. Is it a specific flavor of occult? Do they believe that the goat is coming, or are they just general witchy stuff? Or
they just general seance and tarot people, or is this like a thing? Is there
or they're it's the big C only?
And this comes kind of into what you were going to find as you dart through going through the papers. First of all, they do have it is quite general, and a lot of mythology gets in there, minotaurs, things like that. They very much enjoy. Exactly, yeah. They very much enjoy just pulling from sort of a different culture's mythology and just kind of grabbing a bunch of stuff. The one thing that you come up with consistently is something called, in what you would identify it as the first time you would get the word, is the beatific vision. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but it is the idea of seeing God, basically, an artistic representation of what happens when you actually witness and come into contact with God.
Being.
Yes, the beatific vision of bliss, of overwhelming
bliss and terror.
Yeah, if you Google it, you'll see a lot of people before
the beauty and the terror
vortex. It's the kind of thing that if you saw it, your head might explode.
Do I recognize, because I looked quite closely at the bull painting that was done, do I recognize that as the dead artist's beatific vision? Might that have been something that he truly did see and tried to turn into art? Or maybe he wasn't there yet, or because that was an amazing piece, right? When I saw it, I was like, "This rules is the best thing I've ever seen."
You failed your appraise check on the piece of art. Thinking back,
no, that was an appraise check on like a random piece of art. That was like
yeah, you're right. It was on the thing itself.
Can't remember if I ever did an appraise on the real one.
You cannot confirm. Inspired by, definitely. But at the same time, like it is still at the end of the day like a Minotaur thing. Like it's not it's not Vortex Cthulhu Minotaur.
Okay. No. All right. I am good. Thank you.
Okay. Luck-wise, so you're going to get a bit of that information there. This is kind of the collective of the two of you going through, but more importantly, you come across a series of letters with individual addresses. Donatien. So you get the address for Peladin, you get the address for the former Pinou, and you get the address for LaRouche. Okay. Any final points? Otherwise, we'll jump back across to Clovis to see if the chagrin from losing a mechanical repair has faded.
I'm all good.
Well,
I've got what I wanted.
Yeah, since the door is going to slide open miraculously, I guess maybe I can turn my mechanical repair to this. Did I remember right? There was a case that held the item that was stolen?
Yes, that's right. It's been... sorry. It's been opened. The case was not smashed into. The case was unlocked. And yeah, the book is missing.
Clovis really wanted to go at some hinges. If you could lock something, James, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, yeah, I mean, is there anything about this case that would indicate what was being kept in there? Probably not. Did I see
you were
in here before?
You were in here before. I'll give you, since I stole a mechanical repair from you, I'll give you for free. You were pretty sure there was a book in here when you came in. So it was taken across the course of the night.
Is there any chance I can rack my brain, remember what the book looked like? Like, if it was in the case, I might have glanced at it.
This is going to be you, and you're also like checking papers to see if there's records. This will be the sort of central action that you take as a result. I'll let you do.
Can I argue like an intelligence to just like look around the room and compare what I see now to what I see when I was here before the crimes, and just take in everything that could have happened in this room, everything that's different.
Sure. It's going to be a hard intelligence, or it's going to be because you made and succeeded an occult check while you were there. I'll let you do it with a regular occult otherwise. He's so shocked that we lost him.
Sure. Hard intelligence is slightly better odds, so I'll go for that.
Okay. Brilliant.
Nice.
There it is.
Bang on. Well done.
All right, brilliant. The book that was there, you noted because it was it had an Italian title, and you were just thinking about Italian artists at the time, because that's a thing that artists do. They think about Italians. The book was called Illuminatos Cosmique. I won't attempt an Italian accent. Cosmic Illuminations, and it was a fairly old book. You think this was a French translation of it, more than likely. Big leather-bound thing, and you didn't have a look inside, but that appears to have been what is gone.
And this was stolen by Maximilien Revanche.
Yes, that appears to be what he ran out with. And thus far, your kind of beats are: he kicks in the door, he takes two books, one on the coffee table, one inside a display case. He passes one to like one of the people that work here who plant it on the woman's jacket, so that she would just walk out with it, presumably, if it wasn't found. No, but the police found it pretty quickly. Because the police were summoned. Yeah.
The police were summoned in order to, frame the other person for the other book.
I'd be happy with whoever has the highest psychology to make something to try and piece a few things together here.
I want to quickly see if we can thumb it out ourselves. Hang on, wait, one second. I want to see if I can do it quickly or run something out. So the maid calls the police. She's not necessarily involved. In fact, she'd possibly be aware. She might have become aware of that he was going to steal it. She could have become suspicious. And then he runs up, he gets the book, he passes it to someone had to have gone downstairs and planted it. Unless they'd want to. Oh, you know what? Who was the woman that she was arguing with, who was clearly pissy with her? Like, she might have been the one that planted it in an attempt to just ruin it.
Those two, though, that was a separate couple, have not been re-mentioned.
Okay.
They were arguing loudly by the piano. But yes.
All right. I think I might use.
But
That won't
also,
be
the
if we can
maid
find.
was the one who ran and got the police, but she may have done it because someone else told her to.
Yeah.
Another member of the staff.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, we should find out if we know the address of Old Mate with the book, because presumably we could go and talk to him. The police might be following up on them.
Yeah, you would be able to have his address. With that,
Yeah, I found all of the addresses. I found the little black book, and I immediately recognized it as such.
Okay, we head towards that now. Okay.
Yeah. I might. Yeah, if we want a psychology check, I can kind of get a vibe. I can do a vibe check. Vibe check. How's everyone else's psychology looking?
I'm
50.
not great, but I've got.
50.
Fitty, same.
50?
Better than mine.
Fitty.
Okay. Go ahead and make a psychology check.
No.
I'll tell you what. You reckon you've got all the pieces. It's probably one of the things you've suggested. You just haven't got the bits that will confirm which of the theories is right.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Pick an address, off we go.
All right. Well, anything else
My
to see in
psychology
this
check.
ritual room?
You make a spot hidden check. I kind of did just get you to have a int check to remember. I'm happy for you to make a spot hidden as well.
Oh, in the
In the ritual room. Yeah. That's fine.
Nope.
It looks hella dodgy. And you kind of don't want to stay in here and touch everything.
Your hammer.
All right. Good. I think this has been a productive evening as far as clue finding. Not so productive in terms of clue sticking together, but we've found a lot, and we've considered a lot. We found a lot of second order clues, but just not how they link together.
Yeah.
We just go to a place.
Okay. Brilliant. So, in which case, the collection of you head out. You can bid your farewells to the sûreté officer and say that you got whatever you needed to get. Yep. Are you leaving that door open, that door unlocked? You mentioned
fuck 'em. Stupid occult weirdos. I reckon leave it unlocked. Let her have a hunt round.
Let's not make it look like we found it, but let's leave it in a place where the next
but we just leave the key out.
Hey, what's this?
Yeah.
Do you want to take one for yourselves? Because there were multiple keys there.
Ooh.
Why not?
Fuck yeah.
Stuff's up for grabs. Have that.
It might open something else somewhere.
Yeah.
That was good foreshadowing, James. Thank you.
Okay. So you head outside and check for Lavange's address. It is on the other riverbank of Paris. There's a little bit of a rivalry between the two artistic quarters on each side of the river. Possibly one of the reasons that Lavange has been knocked back a bit. He is from the far less fashionable side of Paris. But it's not too far away, really. That said, you are getting a bit tired. It is at this point 1 a.m. You can start heading down, and as you're walking, you are going to start really feeling that headache again, Clovis. I just want to confirm you're pushing through the night. You're burning the midnight oil. You are going to try and all head straight to Lavange's.
No, I want to sleep. Fuck that. I'm sleeping.
Yeah, no,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm an old man.
Yep.
You youths don't understand.
When I was your
42.
age.
I'm 43. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we just say, I guess we're just kind of taking on this investigation. We'll meet at Old Mate's in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have a
We'll
snoop.
be there.
Something to do, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I'll see you all there.
Everyone returns to their home, and the two unless anyone wants to push through the night, you rest.
Just confirming, which addresses did I get and which one are we prioritizing? I got all of the addresses. I got the little black book basically, but
yeah, you've got the little black book. So the only one that is going to be difficult is LaRouche lives in Thoissy, which is outside of Paris. So it would be a bit of a hike to go out to there, but you can check the other ones.
Why don't we organize a carriage to pick us up? Why don't we go to the bloke who stole the book, then have a carriage pick us up, and then we can head to the external place like in the evening.
Yep.
Thoissy, sorry, not Thoissy. My bad.
Oh, don't know the difference.
Yeah.
I'll take your
great.
word
Yeah, thanks.
for
Thanks
it.
for the correction, James. I would not have known.
I'm pretty sure. Well, funnily enough, I'm pretty sure because it's never mind. To be told later.
Something we're not French enough to understand.
Yeah.
So, in which case, head home and two of you head to sleep. Unfortunately, one of you, Clovis, you get home. This headache is awful, dude. It is getting really, really severe. As soon as you get inside, you feel compelled. You have to paint. You have to paint.
I'm on your side. I was going to say I'm going to respect that failed power roll and paint.
Okay, brilliant. So I'll get you to make an art and craft painting check, and just to communicate clearly what the situation, because you start to feel you've seen the full scope of this. If every time you don't paint for 6 hours, you start to make power checks and lose your power.
But what you mean if I go a 6 hour stretch without painting, or when I feel this, I must paint for 6 hours?
If you are not, you 6 hour stretch. You have kind of like a 6 hour window. You can have a go, and then you have a couple of hours to act. Is the kind of thing.
I must paint for 6 hours.
No, that is the window that you get. When after painting, you have a 6 hour window in which you can like actually manage to do things.
I understand. Otherwise, how long must I paint?
You need to try and realize the beautiful piece that is in your head. I would assume it'll take you maybe, let's call it 90 minutes.
Then I paint. It's going to take me longer because I am obsessed with this idea of putting real blood into it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Unless you just want to get your own blood. I mean, take a couple of points of damage, it'll be quicker.
I mean, where else am I going to get blood this time of night? Do you know how hard it is to get blood in Paris at 2 a.m.?
There's nowhere else. So do you want to take, let's call it 2 points of damage, and then we'll say that as a result, you're able to make through in good time, and you can make an attempt.
Fantastic. All right, and I presume you would like a painting roll.
Okay, let's see. Nice.
I paint.
Nice. Okay.
You paint.
You paint.
Better than the last guy who failed his roll and then his head exploded.
Yeah, that's not what you want.
And you have a wicked go at it as best you can, and when you step back, you are looking at, it's a really, really good picture. Now, obviously, realism and oil painting and stuff takes a hell of a long time, and you would not be able to get a functional picture here. But we will say that in your flurry of creative energy, you were taking some shortcuts, you were doing some creative styles that somehow managed to lock in with the realism, or you're just putting like an undercoat that you know you'll be able to fill out later. A couple of hours pass, and you are looking at something, you are really happy with this. This is one of the better things you have made, but it is not enough. It's not even close to good. A regular success is not enough to sate the itch in the back of your mind, and functionally this doesn't count. This isn't a good enough painting. You need to make a power check.
Hell yeah.
Or I need to spend 22 points of luck to make it a better painting.
You could spend 22 points of luck to make it a hard success. That will make it better.
Still not enough?
Not be enough.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Wow. being an artist is hard, apparently.
Being an artist
Alright.
with a strange bulging presence in the back of your head, this throbbing that seems to get worse and worse.
I guess I'll save my luck for this power check I'm about to make. I think that's the sensible thing to do.
Okay. Please make a power check.
Hard success. I'm good.
Hard success. Okay. In which case, you were just going to lose 1 point of power here.
Oh, James, this is not good.
nice.
A hard success? Was
On a
losing
hard
1
success.
point?
Yeah.
Good lord.
And I'll tell you what, with the hard success, I'll let you know this is going to get worse and worse. Like the amount
tell.
you lose each time is going to increase.
I got that sense. That has been communicated effectively. Don't you worry.
Brilliant.
But at the very least, I hope I feel a little bit lightheaded from letting myself. So that maybe that'll help me sleep.
Yep. You get some amount of rest. It's not a lot, and when you wake up, there is still that throbbing pain, but you can go and rejoin the others at this point.
Good. I probably just need like 2 coffees today, and I'll be fine.
Okay. Can you make an appearance check for me as a final thing?
Sure. I will reveal my appearance score with this roll.
Oy, not doing great.
Goblin.
That's fine.
He's just
40
a
is
guy.
perfectly respectable. 40.
It's hideous. Spit on him.
So when you all gather in the morning, meeting outside Lavange's house, you note that Clovis is starting to look a little bit frazzled, a little bit out of place, and is doing a little bit of those kind of things that you spotted Pinotin doing when you were at the Absinthe House with him the previous day. You can bring that up or not as you see fit, but I'll leave it to the collection of you. That the house that you gather to, it's a relatively small apartment within a block. When you arrive, you don't see any immediate police presence, although you have given them the address. Over to the collection of you.
I think I do say, did you get any sleep last night? You look terrible.
It was a confronting scene. It stuck in my mind longer than I thought it would, I must confess. But it is necessary to capture it and bring it to the world. So this is the life of an artist. It is a blessing and a curse sometimes. I would not expect everyone to understand.
You were up all night painting.
I didn't say that. I said it lingered in my mind.
You heavily implied it also there is paint on you.
Oh, well, yes, I did a little bit of dabbling here and there. Of course, like, failing the 40 appearance, I'm probably, like, covered in paint.
And blood.
It's probably very difficult to differentiate between dry paint and dry blood.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you, is it good? What you've made?
Oh,
And
wait,
be
you're the
honest
dealer,
now.
right?
Yeah.
It is going to be sublime. I do not think there is anything like it in the world. It is original, it is confronting, it is arresting. It would be the envy of any gallery or private collection, I am
But this
sure.
is fun. Let's go inside.
No, you cannot see it yet. It is not done.
I would like to
I'm
see
gonna, like,
it when it's ready, though.
Roll my eyes at Jane.
I play hard to get. Can I roll hard to get? Is that a skill?
Could be.
Sure, add it. you have 99 in it. No, please. Yeah. To
the bricks.
You wanted to take the lead here, Donatien?
Oh, I'm going in.
Okay, fantastic. You head straight up the you head straight up the staircase towards the upper floors. You can see little labels along the apartment, sort of like a mail slot section. And before long, you're up on, it's probably about the 7th floor. When you get up to that floor specifically and you're at the door, which looks fairly normal, it's all intact, nothing out of the ordinary, you hear quick footsteps and suddenly 2 sûreté officers appear. You will recognize one of them from last night and they recognize you. They come round, then they stop and they go, Monsieur, Madame, sorry, I believe we spoke. We are monitoring the building to see if Monsieur Lavange appears. We expect he'll return home at some point. It's part of procedure. We're trying not to spook him.
But he hasn't come home.
No, not yet. As soon as we got your testimony, we moved. We've been watching the building since.
I'm impressed. It's like, so it's weird having police officers doing something in a scenario. You're like, oh, okay, sorry, I guess we're in your way. All right, we will.
Oh, they're doing something.
We'll leave it to the professionals.
All right,
Okay.
we head home.
Yeah. That said, they're probably not going to let you in.
Yeah, that's. Oh yeah, they're doing objective.
They would not have gone in if he's not come home. They would not have gone in.
If you ask them, they'll confirm that. Yeah, they haven't gone in yet.
Maybe a warrant sort of thing.
Are they like outside his door, or are they just?
So the apartment building, they are like technically one landing above.
Okay.
It would be extremely unlikely for anyone to get up without alerting them.
Oh yeah, no, I mean they know that we're here. It's just, are they standing directly outside his door, or can we be like, we're just gonna.
You can try and convince them to like go back to their post. But they also like, they're kind of like, this is a crime scene. Like, thanks, I see you're coming to visit.
I don't
please.
know that. I was just thinking, because we picked up those keys, so I mean, depending on how paranoid and suspicious these people are, they might have keys to each other's homes. I wouldn't mind a chance to try.
Keys there.
Yeah,
makes me think that.
To be clear, these keys were like this very much was like, and here is your key to the secret chamber sort of thing. Like they were an older key that was the same type for each, and it opened the doors there. The door on the front of the lounges is just like a
regular.
Oh no, but like who knows if they've all got a ritual room with matching keys?
Quite possibly.
He's not part of the club.
That would be the case, but I'm just hoping because that would be great for us.
Yeah. On that note,
but they went straight there, and he has not come home. So
we have not seen him. But in fact, and we would suggest that the three of you, we don't. If he sees anyone he knows, he may not feel comfortable returning home. I would suggest you return. We will handle it, and we will alert you as quickly as we can. As well, Madame, I'm turning to you, Jane. You are Mademoiselle Prideaux, who you spoke up for. Are you close with her?
No, I hadn't met her before last evening.
She has taken unwell. I was hoping that since you spoke for her, you may know if we can. Is there anybody we can speak with?
I can put you in contact with the. I'll give them like Vivian's info. She'd probably know, but I'll. She's unwell. Suddenly?
Yes, she complains of headaches. It seems in great pain. We have. She's not at the Sûreté anymore. We have moved her to an hospital so she can be treated effectively. But
I have met her previously, and in fact, we are quite close. Which hospital did you move her to? I would love to take her some flowers and wish her get well soon. And
of course, he gives you the address of the hospital. I have the name, but I do not have it on hand. It's a Parisian hospital. One of the major ones, like nothing particularly.
Who's taken ill?
This is the woman that the book was planted on. Did she come into contact with the deceased artist, Old Exploding Head?
No, not that you are aware of. No contact there. She spent most of the evening speaking, like in the sort of the main room, chatting with LaRouche's wife, the Sheba.
Yeah, with the Sheba. Okay, but she did come in contact with the book.
Oh, LaRouche might be someone to go with. The wife might be someone. Okay. Yeah, I think maybe go into the hospital. We're not going to get in here. Maybe we go to the hospital and have a chat.
The book that you found on her, the items that all of this seems to be, all of this Farah seems to be about. Whatever happened to those? Are they still with you as evidence, or have they been returned to the owner's home?
Well, we have had trouble reaching Monsieur Péladin. We discovered some untoward things in his home. And he seems pretty happy. Like, he shouldn't let that drop. He seems pretty happy too. This is still a pretty, like, religiously fervorous era.
Yeah.
Like blasphemy kind of.
And you know what? The police have a case. They're doing pretty well at it. They've got evidence.
I'm
like they're
super
doing
impressed
good.
by
Like
the police before.
talking to the journalist about it and just being like, "Hey, actually, we've got leads. Like this is progressing." Is probably like a thing that they've been told
That's
to
a
talk
good
about.
point. Yeah.
To the like, get a positive story in the media for a change.
Yeah, let's get a win.
In fact, do you want to make a credit rating check? I think.
I do. Not computer use with 0. Yes, I do.
Oh, we're all over.
I would love to make a credit rating check.
Okay.
I'm a very well-respected journalist.
You are, and they're pretty happy to chat with you. So yeah, they give you sort of like an update. One of them like spells out his name to you very carefully so that you make sure that you can get it.
Who would have thought art criticism and crime? This is right there.
Because the greatest crime is bad.
Very exciting. Well, there's crime journalism and true crime. There might be a thing in this.
So yeah, they still have the book. It's being held at the Sûreté as evidence at this point. They believe that it was probably planted on Prideaux by Lavange, and based on what they've found, they've kind of found some of the things that you have. They're kind of working on. Lavange was wrapped up in whatever that weird stuff is, and all of them are involved in that weird stuff. Yeah.
Is there any way that we might get access to the book with that credit rating? Could you be like, I want to look at it as a source?
I would love to have Clovis here to do a sketch of it for me, for my articles, just to to really bring it to life. Just the cover of it and the general. It was an interesting looking book. I would love to see it, to describe it in better detail, and just really bring the case to life on the page about how well you're all doing here.
All the readers, they want to have. I saw that sentence, hoping I remember what it's called. What's like the sketchy kind of?
Oh, the lino. It'd be like a lino print. It'd be like a lino print.
Yeah.
You can do a lino cut, an etching of it.
I think you are a journalist. This is an extreme success on the credit rating. You are well known in Paris. This is your world. The Sûreté want to be portrayed as in control of the situation. They probably. If you agree to editorialize a few details, they'll be happy to make that available to you. Yeah, you can. They say they'll within a few hours that you can go and check the book.
On background only, nothing unflattering.
In the strictest of terms, we condemn interest in inappropriate and obscene matters.
Yeah, it's weird.
Which
Yes,
the book
of course. But you know how the Parisian people are with the sensationalism, and to get them to be interested at all and to see this article, there will need to be a hook, something.
And the man is dead. There is no better discouragement than the truth here.
Well, yes. That with that in mind. A man is dead, a woman has headaches. Clovis can back me up here. Some of the chemicals used in dyes and paint making, there may be something in the cover and the pages of this book that is toxic, so do make sure that it is wrapped up.
They take that pretty seriously. They'll actually send they probably send one of the guys back to make sure that gets done. And yeah, they encourage you to pay a visit to the hospital. They'll obviously send word that could be a thing, but they don't have next of kin or anything for Aimee, so they So we can go visit Aimee, or we can go with the officer and look at the book.
Maybe.
Or you can hang out here if you want to try and catch Lavange or something, or try and convince the officers.
Feel like the police are kind of all over this one. Why don't we do do we want to split up and do the book and
we've kind of ingratiated ourselves with the police enough that they will tell us if they'll we'll get wind of it if he comes back.
It sounds like Clovis and Benoit are doing the book, and Jane is most keen to get to the hospital.
I can do that. Yeah. The only thing, Clovis, would be if you're suspicious because she's displaying symptoms the same as you. Are you maybe?
No, I don't really want to think about that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. You probably actually need to go and have a little paint soon.
A little painty paint, a little splish splash.
Painty paint. Make something really beautiful.
Oh no, actually, you do say it. It would be good to go talk to the doctors at the hospital and see what they've found out.
Be like, help.
No, not serious. Like, oh, so what seems to be the problem? What are her symptoms? What treatments have you tried? What are you going to try next? What are your sususpicions? No reason, just asking.
Donatien,
Yep,
you're probably the best person to figure out the book anyway.
Yeah.
Why don't Clovis and I go to the hospital, you go for the book, and then why don't you then come to the hospital, meet us there, and then we'll get the carriage out to
the hospital,
wherever.
Yeah, I will accompany the officer back to the police station since I've just gotten this goodwill with them.
Yeah.
And I'll be pattering with questions and kind of keeping him focused on me as a journalist and less focused on, potentially doing his job.
So you head back to retrieve the book, and the other two.
Hospital.
L'hôpital.
Okay, straight to the hospital.
Did I get that right? L'hôpital?
L'hospital. Hospital. Yeah, I can't actually remember off the hospital.
Oh, the S came out for some reason. No,
anyway, I actually can't remember. Anyway, so you turn about and you head for the hospital, which is what we're going to start with. It's another trip across Paris, but before long, you are going to arrive at the ward. It's not a particularly busy period, but they're still in that style where they just do those long corridors, all filled with beds, and you after being led through, saying who you're there to visit, you're allowed up. The orderlies there.
L'hôpital.
Thank you very much. Hôpital. There we go. L'hôpital. Head upstairs into one of the large corridors. The orderlies will ask plenty of questions. They seem pretty keen for somebody to be able to answer for Aimee because her condition is deteriorating. When you get up there, you see her. She's being taken care of relatively well, comfortable. The bed is set up. They've drawn curtains around to try and give her some privacy. And when you get in, you can see why. She appears to be pretty upset. She's hunched up, curled into a ball, holding onto the side of her head. She has quite a bit of dried blood under her nose. And you can tell she has been restrained. One of her hands is basically tied to the bedpost, and it's cut in to her wrist as she's clearly tried to pull things out. There is a notepad and pen. She's a poet, and there's a notepad and pen next to her on the bedside table, and every inch of it is filled with scrawling writing, as she's been writing, and then she's used it up and she started writing over her own sections. It's not a great look. When you all come in, she opens her eyes and looks up and says, "It's you. You don't have paper, do you? I need. I'm." Holds onto her head again. It's exactly the kind of thing you saw behavior from Pinotin. It's exactly how you feel right now. As this pushing is in your head.
I actually amusingly either saw Pinotin in the explosion. I saw him getting kind of fervent, but I also don't know. So I think I'm going about this. I think I'm beginning to catch up to where Clovis is throughout this scene. I'm getting some very basic, what are you feeling? Why are you writing all this stuff? Bits. I think it's Clovis's reaction that's probably more interesting and relevant.
Fair enough. Clovis, how are you reacting?
I kind of want to see. I kind of want to roll a fast talk roll to see if I can hide how I'm really feeling, because I suspect I cannot.
Well, why don't we go with that?
Attempt. I'm gonna attempt to no. It's a player character, so I'm happy to let Jane into the fact that
probably gets us up to speed too. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine. So trying to mask how concerned I am, but I'm happy for Jane to pick up the fact that that's gonna be me this time tomorrow. Is what I'm worried about.
In that case, I'm gonna talk to her. Once we get through that bump, I think I want to try and figure out what's actually spreading it. Is it a contagion? I'm gonna ask her, when did you start feeling like this? What is it that brought this on?
I started feeling bad at the end of the soirée. As soon as the Chaosium were taking me away already, I had headaches. You realize she's talking in like a syncopated pattern, and you realize you're pretty sure it's because she's trying to compose a poem in her head as she goes, and it's like she's very much like
make all of this rhyme, please.
No, in French.
In French, yes, that's right.
No.
Oh no, just tell us confidently that in French this does rhyme. It's one you've translated into English for us where it doesn't.
Absolutely, exactly. She keeps going through, but yeah, it appears to have been that it developed over the course of the party, and by the end of the soiree, it was already she was feeling sick, and that's when the book happened. Since then, it's gotten only worse. And she says that all she wanted to do desperately was to try and go and do some work, do some writing, but she couldn't because the Sûreté were questioning her, and she was tired and she couldn't focus, and it really just feels like the headache seized on that weakness, and now it will not go away, and all she can think about is writing.
I'm gonna give her a clean, like something to write on, because the other guy's head exploded when he didn't, failed. And then I'm running this out. I don't feel like this, right? Nor does Donatien that I'm aware of.
No,
there must have been
something. Feel like this.
Clovis, is there anything that you did that we didn't during the party? Because you've got this. We were all in the room with the deceased painter. What did you do right after that? Did you speak is there someone you interacted with?
I was waiting for Belladon. I spoke to LaRouche.
You spoke to LaRouche. Did you speak to his wife?
Yes, just in passing. And LaRouche took the book back to the library as well. I don't know if...
We've all been in the library now, although you might have come in contact with the book. Maybe Donatien
should. Sure, I was in the library before I was in contact with the book. I suspect LaRouche would know more than anyone else, and maybe even Madame LaRouche, more so than Monsieur. Miss,
did you speak with LaRouche or his wife?
I didn't speak with LaRouche, but I spoke with Bathsheba a lot. She was kind. She took my hand and she told me things, and they were powerful. They resonated with me. She falls silent again and keeps writing.
I didn't speak with the wife, did I?
You did not, no.
Did Donatien speak with the wife?
I did, but I'm not necessarily an artist.
Yeah, maybe.
You spoke. You were definitely in the room.
You are a critic. You are the exact opposite of an artist.
Exactly, I'm a critic because I cannot. I criticize because I cannot do.
That's right. We create, you destroy.
Anyone that spoke, it seems it might be wife, Bathsheba, that's instigating this. There's unfortunately no way that we know of to stop it. I think we should go and find Donatien. I'm worried that he shouldn't touch the book.
We'll jump across to Donatien, but first of all,
meanwhile,
we'll resolve what. Do you take any other steps with Aimee here? Is there, or is it just?
I think it's good luck.
Have some paper and good luck.
Figure it out. Yeah, I don't think it's.
Yeah.
We'll come back. I think I'll tell her we're looking into this. We're trying to find out what's happened, and as soon as we know, we'll come back and try and help you. But now, better out than in.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. In which case, I would want to make sure that she can write. To be honest, even if that's against doctor's orders.
Yeah.
Like having direct empathy for what's going on right now, I would try to leave her with extra paper.
I will give that to you without a roll. That is fine. You make sure that she has access to paper. The doctor seemed pretty mystified and is not hurting anyone, so it seems fine.
Is Clovis currently going through withdrawals? Is he's not as bad as her, as Aimee?
No, not nearly as bad. But the shakes are starting, and we will end that scene with you. So you're starting to put things together, Jane. I will ask for a sanity check at this point because it's starting to be like you are okay. I will also ask a sanity check from you, Clovis. You are looking at what you might be, as well as a power check because it's been a few hours. You really just want to be painting.
Hard success.
Oh my
And me
god.
as well. Very
Okay.
good.
I will take a single tickle from each of ye on sanity.
All right, now I'm halfway to indefinite. Seems about right, to be honest.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Oh, now you will have reset your indefinite for the day. Remember, because you slept.
Oh, that's true. All right, so I started on 55 instead of 60.
And we'll get the power check from you on a success. Just a single point here.
I don't like this.
Sam, I am.
So you leave the hospital and back across. You head over to the offices of the Sûreté. You were taken in. They ask you a lot of like, and what kind of story will you be writing? You end up speaking to like a mustachioed police chief at one point too, who's very, interested. What's your spin?
Oh, well, I don't have no spin necessary, my good sir. You do seem to have all of this in hand. This is the first, major crime in the art world in quite a long time. And I think it is exciting to have a true crime, art, criticism angle. It hasn't been done. And the Parisian people get so bored so easily. This is a fresh take.
You to keep the audience engaged, you will need a central character of the story.
Of course. A investigative character like yourself.
He continues with this thread for a while, but
I'm gonna make you famous. I'm gonna make you famous, fellow.
Okay, and for what it's worth, you writing off that previous success, they will let you in. They do not want you to take the book away, but they are happy for you to research it. So you end up in a side room. It's not like proper like interrogation room, because we're not quite at that stage yet. It's like literally like there's like a bunch of like desks to one side where they will all gather together to do the small amount of paperwork they need to. And you can sit down, you can start to go through it.
I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to be like kind of suspicious because I think I know about the occult. I don't think I'm a true believer. I think I know about the occult, and I know the kind of tricks that con artists use, basically. Yeah, and I feel like somebody's done something to this book, or it has been made in a way with certain chemicals that are affecting people. So I'm not going to touch it. I have like a pen or a pencil or something, and I'm going to be turning, like looking at it, like poking at it with that, and I'm going to be like keeping away from it because I think it's probably like, I feel like it's been poisoned. That's what I think it is. I think it's got like a poisoned book.
No, that is
poison that makes your head explode.
Yeah.
These things happen.
Well, look, I'm not a
surprised.
doctor.
Yeah.
I don't know what these things can do.
Damn
it, Jim, I'm a writer, not a doctor.
That is a completely reasonable precaution. So what we are going to say, at this point, I will ask you to make that French check you were talking about. This is this book is in French. Yes.
Oh, this is
going to be
either great news
really
or
good.
terrible news.
Yeah, this is either really good or really bad for me.
All right.
I reckon it's probably pretty bad for me.
You're gonna love this. Extreme success.
Right.
You sit
Yeah,
down.
but that means it's pretty bad for me.
Yeah.
And you start to read, and very quickly you find yourself completely
immersed.
absorbed. Not only is this book like very nicely, it's just, as the other one, it's like a nice old tome. It looks like it's at least 150 years old by a guess. You'd have to have it appraised, probably worth a good bit of money, or at least it would have been if they hadn't annotated all over it. There are scrawlings, markings.
Who is they?
All the wonderful members of the Order of the Rose and Cross who have been using this as almost literally a Bible for their practice of esoteric.
You know what? Given one of them was a famous artist whose head has exploded, I think that increases the value. If we hang on to it for long enough, value go up.
For sure. This appears to be linked to a man named Martinez de Pasquali. He basically founded the French Masonic order. We don't need to go into like massively detailed history of French Masonry. Interestingly, it's a little bit distinct and weird from the rest of Masonry. They have separate churches and branches, and although they're tied, they're irrelevant. This is a properly occult tome, and it is a properly mythos tome. As you sit there and you start to read through it, you're going to get a bunch of information. First thing I'm going to need you to do is to make a sanity check. A success. On a success, you are just going to lose 2 points.
Ding, ding.
This book walks through a whole idea of how to bring people into contact with God, and they believe that it is done through the practice and the acceptance of art. As you read through the various strange processes here, you are going to learn a spell, which I am going to provide to you. The spell is called Channeling God. It costs 10 magic points, 5 power, and 1d6 sanity. And it is a spell which allows you to imbue power and magic into a specific piece of art. And if it is good enough, which is going to require an extreme success, the art will come to life and it will form a literal being of inspiration, which they are calling muses. And since we are hitting the end of the scenario, we will finish things off with, as this happens, you are finding all of these annotations and eventually you just find a drawing. And as it sings, a muse that will come to life and has the power to then spread this drive, this passion, this need to create more to everybody. You see a brilliantly rendered sketch of Bathsheba.
Yeah.
Oh my. She's
not she's
This
is a work
is
of art.
fun.
Yeah.
She's a
You do
painting.
know that LaRouche was a sculptor.
A sculptor.
There you
Yeah.
Jackson, you need to paint a cannon.
go.
Paint a really
Well,
big
yeah,
cannon.
Planning to paint a
Art
Paint an AK-47.
So we will leave things there. Thank you so much, everybody. That was really great. I appreciate everyone for watching. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Jackson. Thank you,
Thank you, Jim, for
Sirenscape.
keeping.
You big Jim.
And to Roll20. We will be back next week for the final episode of A Message of Art. And we will be heading to Poiré, to go to LaRouche's place. The fun fact was that, as Stefan pointed out in chat, Poissy is from Reign of Terror. It is also a town just outside of Paris, and it just drilled into my head. This is Poiré, another town just outside of Paris.
Totally different. You wouldn't
Totally
know.
different. Totally
Actually,
Yes.
like one letter difference in the alphabet.
different.
Oh my
Neighbors.
god, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So thanks. We'll be around then, and
See you then.
appreciate it.
Yeah.